it's 10 o'clock. This is the Gilliam County Court regular meeting, January 21st, and we're in Arlington today. The meeting's called to order. A quorum has been established. All county court members are present, and we'll have the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. The weather's a little bit different in the north end of the county than the south. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda? None? No. Okay, we'll have correspondence, public comment. Individuals wishing to address the county court may do so at this time or other times throughout the meeting. Speakers are asked to raise their hand to be recognized by the chair and give their name and city and limit their comments to 3 minutes. Are there any comments today? Come on up.
Do I have to sit now?
Yeah.
I am Brian Foster, and I am here to introduce myself. I'm the chair of the board of directors of North Gilliam County Health District. And the county has helped us out, and I very much appreciate that. I am not a very public person, so sometimes it's kind of difficult for me to do this kind of stuff. I need to get my face out there, though. That's all I have.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other comments in person or online? Yeah, there's people on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 3.1, 2025 annual report for Columbia Ridge Landfill Citizen Advisory Committee. In your packet, you will find the report for 2025 from the committee. Commissioner Watkins, did you have anything to add since you're on the
No,
committee?
I think, Rich did the report, and the only thing I added to it was that we did tour the waste management facility,
Okay.
so everything else is there. We continually talk about the railroad.
All right, item 3.2, Treasurer's Report, November 2025. In your packet, you will see a Treasurer's Report. There are account balances, there are investment balances, there's an interest report. These are all for November of 2025. And then there's a bank reconciliation report, and also a revenue and expense budget to actual report. Let's see, is that it? This is what we asked for at the last meeting.
So I just had a couple comments about it. I think that the bank really, reconciliations, I would prefer if Nathan would get with Brooke and have her approve those, since she is the financial director. It looks like he had Ellen sign off on them.
We have a policy. It's a
The reconciliation policy?
Yeah, can you see if you can
Yeah.
pull that up? This was part of the audit recommendation, so let's see what the policy says.
About approving?
Yeah.
Is Brooke provided all the reconciliation reports and stuff?
Well, she would have to speak to that.
It just says validation of bank accounts, transactions against the general ledger, ensuring accuracy and report balances. That's what's being reconciled. Bank reconciliations between general ledger and bank accounts should be performed monthly, following applicable general accounting principles and statutes, standard for all Gilliam County bank accounts. The treasurer officer prepares the report and then the clerk reviews the report. Both parties
that's
and then
the policy.
policy.
Okay.
Mhm, yeah. Okay,
And then all the accounts that don't have, so I was particularly looking at the fair work because I was trying to figure out how much money we actually had.
right,
And all the fund balances say, zero. So have we not turned over the amounts, or is that where the discrepancy is? And so we haven't rolled them over?
Brooklyn, are you online? I'm not sure if she is or isn't.
No.
Okay, all right,
Oh, I'm just picking out one of them, like right now I'm looking at the general fund.
right, and
So
that is true,
it shows no, beginning fund balance.
right, and that's because of the amount that is. That there was a discrepancy because of the conversion, and there has been, progress. I know that Brooklyn had a conflict today. She's the one working on that, and once that's resolved, those will be included. Do you want
So,
anything in the meantime?
well, maybe, because I think we talked about having him give us the actual balance sheets.
The balance sheet. We did ask for that, and this is
And-
just the expenditure. This is called expenditures with comparison to budget. So we did ask for the balance sheet, you're right.
So
Okay,
if we could get those.
sure.
Because that money has to be sitting somewhere.
It is. The balance sheet, there's a summary sheet, and I prefer that the people who are working with it speak to this. But, the bank account is reconciled and in balance, and the allocation is what is over the amount it should be.
Okay.
So there's too much, there's a discrepancy that, has been narrowed down to one transaction. So, there has been progress made.
So is that what's holding up the audit?
Yeah, and it's scheduled. It's
Okay.
scheduled for February.
Okay. So if we get to a point where they can't figure it out, do we want to consider bringing in an
Yes.
independent accountant?
Yes,
to
and that, yes,
help?
I think that's what we need to do. Cassell said that they had a team that
Yeah.
could help us with this, and we've been relying on that. And we asked for it, and they said, oh, they don't help with implementation and conversion issues. So our next option is,
Get
get
an
a
independent.
CPA to see if they can help us. If it even ends up being something that we need to, the auditor may be able to come at this point, because we pinpointed what it is.
Okay.
I don't think it's a huge thing. I think we're almost there.
Okay.
All right. Three point three, quarterly report from Waste Management, Paul Wilson, District Manager.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I have some numbers for for final year numbers for 2025. And some fourth quarter. So fourth quarter for 2025, we did around 713,000 tons. Volumes for 2025 were approximately 2.6 million tons into the landfill this year.
Can you stop for just a second? Do you have a copy there?
Yeah, I know.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, no, I have to.
okay,
You have three.
thank you. I wasn't sure.
No, I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Okay.
The host fees for Gilliam County, that we paid to Gilliam County 2025, approximately $5.5 million. That does include the road maintenance fees as well in that number.
That's what the piece, yeah.
A few site updates. Of course, we finished renewing the conditional use permit host fee agreements last year. The South RNG plant did successfully make gas in December, so we're excited about that. And then it is running a little bit right now. They will start commissioning the north half in March. And so
Did you say commissioning?
commissioning
Okay.
the north half
Okay.
in March. Estimate fully operational by July. Of course, has a lot to do with pipeline, which pipeline's in progress. Of course, you're seeing that all over the county. Well, not all over the county, but mostly on the north end, of course. Some of the on-site project is almost completed, so But they're still working on that. So, we are also still in the process of rebuilding our thaw bay, wash bay. The building arrived yesterday. The steel building arrived yesterday, so that will start to go back up and it almost completed with the wash bay portion. They should have awarded a new contract for the remaining excavation for cell 17 yesterday. It's another 1.2 million yards of soil they're gonna move and hope to have that completed by June. So, of all of the excavation completed by then.
June of this year.
Yeah. And then we are hiring drivers, operators on both shifts, working on hiring a new supervisor for the night shift as well, another supervisor for the night shift. Last year, we
How
ended the
many
year.
do you are looking, how many are you looking at hiring?
We have 2 open positions for drivers on nights and 2 during the day. And then 2 equipment operator positions open during the day for the day shift and 2 for the night shift. And then one supervisor position.
Okay.
Some of the,
So you're fairly staffed up
yeah,
where you'd like to be, or?
well, close.
Close.
We've discovered some of our volumes last year. We would like to have just a few more to be able to manage some of those things, the soil volumes. And so my hope is I have a few projects this year. Of course, we want to increase our gas infrastructure for the RNG plant and things like that. So we have some projects scheduled out for just the landfill and construction itself.
Yeah.
That's just gonna take more hands, more people to get those things accomplished. So I think as soon as the first Monday of the year, I was like, I need this, I need this, I need this. So try to build that stuff up to get started on some of those projects. So we finished the year last year with 9 Oprah recordables, which is down from 15, which we had in 2024. So big improvement. And so we keep working every day, of course, to make sure that we're improving that number. Mission to 0, of course. Other than that, I did include new environmental protection manager's contact information on the very back page there for you, Greg Kinselli. He's on and learning and getting involved in things, and so
Oh, good.
moving forward. And happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you.
No, we're getting an update on the bypass today, and like I said, I was gonna try to reach out to you and Al.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were till the other day, so you were coming, so, but anyway, I'll follow up.
Okay.
Thank you. I like
You
the
bet.
contact information. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, 4.0 consent agenda. No.
Do you want Dewey?
Oh,
Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. The most important thing. Update on Cedar Springs Road relocation, Dewey Kennedy Roadmaster, 3.4.
Morning.
right,
Andy Lindsay with Anderson Perry came down and met with us last week. With not all good news. They have the project for the most part. The basic engineering, all the scope and work is done, but now we have floodplain issues and the wetlands. Which they're having to go into more studies, environmental studies and stuff like that. And they think that could cost us another $150,000. Which is, I think, way out of line, but that's just my opinion. The mitigation for a lot of this, they said we can pay to mitigate it rather than build something. But in order to pay for that is between $500,000 and $750,000. Well, we can build a pretty good pond for much less than that, I think. So right now, that's where we're at. We're sitting, waiting for them to do the rest of their stuff, but they thought possibly another year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
that's just to do this and then permits.
Yes, to get the rest of the permitting done.
Okay.
So the pond be to hold the water then instead of
It's-
having it be a whole wetland?
It's considered a wetlands. They actually have two areas on the map. One down there where
Yeah, you know, we're doing.
where the alkali lake is. There's water in it now. And then the other is up across from Kim Waste, which there's
It's the first one coming in the tracks,
really no water there.
but they're talking the one. That's the one that they were talking about moving
Right.
to over to here.
And what I would propose to them, rather than build it there, is build it down by the other one. That's kind of no man's land down there anyway.
Yeah.
There's no grazing for cattle or anything like that. Plus then it would hold water where the other one doesn't.
Right. And that first one,
Yes,
the other thing coming into factor is the Hardy Trail. And then plus it's high in different soil, right? On the
yes,
First pond
yes.
in that area. So
Yeah.
those are the two trouble areas.
Yeah. And the thought was thrown out there to possibly redesign the road and move it as far south as we possibly could, right at the toe of the slope. And I called Herb and asked him, if he thought, he kind of hummed and hawed, and he'd like to come down and look at it. And so the next time he comes up from California, I'll come down and meet with him and look that over. That might save us a little bit on all of this, but don't know.
He didn't indicate possibly when he might be out this way again, though, did he?
He's in the process of doing all of his winter stuff down there in California, and he had just been up here.
Dang,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
okay.
Because it's like we were talking at that meeting, The other thing is with the project coming, that'll be one, they wanted to start construction
Yeah.
12 months from now.
And he's talking another year
Yeah,
of all this permitting and stuff.
that's before dirt's moved.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So we have that, and then you get the land taken care of from her. I mean, it's like we've moved forward, but we haven't.
Yeah.
And this is pretty
Yeah.
frustrating.
There's just another roadblock in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from here, where do we go? Will we have more information at our next meeting?
Andy's gonna get us some more detailed information. What he gave us was just kind of a checklist breakdown. Another 10,000 project management, 15,000 in application and fees, 50,000 for wetland mitigation plan and design, another 15,000 for cultural resource study, 30,000 for floodplain development, and then another 25,000 for report completion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess my thoughts are, I would, hopefully by the next meeting, we'd have something more.
And Andy,
That's-
Andy thought he'd have it to us today,
Okay,
but he didn't quite get it done.
I guess my thoughts are is getting that from them to see where they're at. And then
Make a decision.
think we, I don't know, I just think we have to keep going forward with it.
Well, the road is the only solution to the train problem.
Yeah.
It's the only solution.
Yeah.
And.
Yeah.
We just have to
We had to keep working at that.
keep working at it. The FEMA floodplain map, which we're working on right now, throws another kink in us because it shows multiple flood areas down through there. And
Yeah.
when I told Herb about that, he just laughed.
Yeah.
He said, in my lifetime, he's never seen, he said, it'll come down a canyon every now and then, but to flood that flat, he said, that doesn't happen.
I just saw those little ponds with a little water in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, the road will be built up, so that won't be a problem. The road will actually be higher than the railroad. So if there's a flood,
Maybe we need an overpass. We'd have to have two.
yeah,
Well, and then the only other thing, I guess the only thought I have is, to kind of have a plan B till see what Herb comes up and visits with him. And I guess the only thing I keep going back to plan B is if we could work that with Herb and if we can get around all that and maybe it's gonna entail more money, a little bit more asphalt, but the time.
yeah.
And I'm sure that they're ready or gonna waste for a bypass too.
Yeah, I do kind of ask
Yes.
questions.
Yeah.
Do you foresee having to do any more maintenance on the existing Cedar Springs Road in that time?
Well,
It's
that's-
down a year.
I think so.
Right now, it's in pretty good shape, other than there's a couple of railroad crossings are pretty choppy. It's just maintenance.
It's not another, you wouldn't have to do another.
Oh, no,
field
no,
at a time.
no, we do, with some blade patching, stuff like that.
Okay.
I was hoping to get away from that, but
Mm-hmm.
now it pushed out another year, it's just.
Still maintaining it.
There won't be a large price tag on anything, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Herb could build it, we could lease it. I'm just trying to think,
Yeah,
something outside the box and plan A and B and, it's just the time frame for, you know, like we've been talking about safety,
Yeah,
holdups, EMS,
Mm-hmm.
and then on top of that now, this project's done.
Yeah.
It's just, how. When you have, let's say you have a green light to go, how long do you think that would take? I know this is, I mean,
I'm figuring a year.
Okay.
Because I have
your resources.
I have other county maintenance that has to be
Yeah.
done.
Right,
So there'll be, in the spring of the year, I lose 4 guys to grading roads. And in the fall of the year, that, and
I remember we. talked
winter
about that.
maintenance, you know, we haven't had a flood in a while, but if something comes up, we have to do that.
It's just unfortunate now because you're not plowing snow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we should be working now, would be the perfect time,
Yeah,
especially with the weather we're having now. We get a lot done, but
Yeah.
so that's my
Okay,
thoughts.
so put this on the agenda, the actual report for February 4th,
okay, all right.
okay? And then we'll just go.
Because we've only improved so much for the contract, right?
We don't have this,
Right,
Yeah.
but the original,
Mhm.
yes,
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
okay,
We have to go, thank you. Forward, yeah, thank you.
you bet, yeah,
Didn't know water would be a problem like this. Hard to believe,
yeah, in Arlington, yeah,
yeah,
flood.
thanks to.
Thank you. Do you want to keep that?
Is this for us or is this yours?
It's the only copy I have.
Okay, we'll just have, a copy made just for our record, it can be done later. The courthouse. All right, item 4.0 consent agenda, 4.1, consider appointment of member to Gilliam County Compensation Board. In your packet, there's information, a briefing from Brooklyn Griffith regarding a vacancy. I will tell you on this one that it was advertised for two times in the Times Journal, 2 weeks, and there was no interest. And the individual, Tiffany Yeager, indicated she was interested. 4.2, consider appointment of pro tem justice court judges. You have a letter from Carrie Hayter with pro tem appointments, and this is a statutory that the county court approved.
Is that annually week?
Yeah, annually.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, for each calendar year.
Right.
4.3, consider approval of Capco service agreement for funding of meal service program for January of 2026. You have that, and these are coming monthly now, currently. Also, you have consider approval of regular meeting minutes for January 7th, 2026.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 5.0 unfinished business. 5.1 consider approval of memorandum of agreement with Pioneer Community Development Corporation for funding of home energy efficiency pilot study. The proposed memorandum of agreement is in your packet, 5.1. As you remember, this was the county court asked that this project move forward. Eli, would you like to come up? And if there are any questions about this agreement, we can address them right now. This program was proposed by Eli. He presented a concept. Pioneer Community Development Corporation has agreed to proceed as the entity that would manage this. It's a pilot in the amount of $30,000 for the calendar year 2026 for improvements to residential HVAC system installation in homes in Gilliam County. It would be 2 homes.
Correct.
Do we have any questions?
I don't.
Okay. And the funding would come from the economic enhancement line item.
I think we also talked about looking at the, out there at the industrial park.
Right, the Green Lab. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sidebar discussion.
yeah, sidebar discussion,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, it was.
Yes,
So,
uh-huh. Yep, we have that in the works.
Okay.
In fact, I should have actually brought the key down here so you could have taken a look on the way back.
I'll bring a ladder next time.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I will, so move that, we enter into this memorandum of agreement with Pioneer Community Development for the home energy efficiency program. An amount of 30,000, right?
Mhm. Yes.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to enter into an agreement with Pioneer Community Development Corporation for a home energy efficiency pilot program for $30,000 for calendar year 2026. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. I'll be in touch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eli.
Okay, 5.2, discuss update to employee handbook proposal. Is Brooklyn on the line?
No,
Okay,
she's probably in her training.
okay,
I can tell you that the proposed handbook went to CIS for their review, which they've done. The committee, I don't think everyone's had a chance to look at those comments yet
Mhm.
from CIS. And then the next step would be attorney review,
Mhm.
right?
Right,
But there were some questions about, the, longevity pay.
yeah, the career recognition pay. Mhm. Right. Did you have any thoughts on that, Commissioner Watkins?
I think I went back to Brooke and told her that I was for it, except for not the going backwards.
Right, one of the issues on that
And then
was whether we
some
offer,
part-time.
right, retroactive, or if we were going to, provide career recognition pay to full-time and part-time or just full-time. And your input was both full
Yeah.
and part-time.
Yeah.
Anya?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I think it had some of the part-time employees that we've had. If we have somebody that's part-time and they come around that long, I think they should be recognized.
Do you think they should get the same amount as a full-time person or a prorated amount?
I think it should be prorated.
Okay, I personally agree with you with the no retro pay for this, retroactive,
Cause it looked like it was gonna be maybe between $25,000 and $28,000 a year.
the fiscal impact.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I recall, I thought she kind of thrown out there maybe the for 4 or 5 more years, it was gonna be considerable. Well, then maybe taper down, but
Yeah,
I don't recall, it's been a while.
yeah.
well, this would give her some direction for her to proceed if we can just discuss our thoughts and then she can, proceed, because we're going to be approving, the entire handbook and potentially policy on this.
Yeah.
So we're not making any decisions, but it would give her some direction if we could just
Yeah.
present some of our thoughts. Do you have any thoughts, Commissioner Wilkins?
I guess, CIS, that was the only 2 main ones, and then,
Well, the CIS was just doing it for legal review of like paid leave Oregon, FMLA. He wasn't looking at every single thing.
okay.
Like the retroactive pay and, I think there was the sick time, they weren't looking at those things.
So when we send that to legal counsel, I would think we would only have to have them look at the things
Mm-hmm,
we're changing, right? Not
Yeah.
the whole,
Yeah.
right.
just to verify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts on the career recognition, whether or not it be for,
Yeah, I'm okay. I think, some of that should be, maybe prorated, but
mhm. I concur with the prorated amount. I think not giving it full part-time can be problematic. We're trying to retain employees, period, whether they're full or part-time, and we do have part-time employees.
Sure.
So I support the prorated amount. I was concerned about the fiscal impact, of all of it, but I also, at the same time, there's value in retaining employees.
Yeah.
And I think we all agree that no retro. Okay. I will convey to her that that's the direction, so that she can move forward with that. Okay, is there anything else, Anya, that you can think of on that? At this point, probably not. Okay. 6.0, new business. 6.1, consider approval of ORMAP intergovernmental agreements. And we don't have anybody from the assessor's office online, do we?
No.
They had a conflict today, I know, with a meeting. But there is a briefing in your packet, and it's from the Gilliam County Assessor's Office, and it explains these agreements. And it looks like there'd be no general fund impact, based on these agreements. One with the Oregon Department of Revenue to accept the ORMAP grant funding, and the other is an agreement with Polk County to provide GIS technical services for data conversion and tool customization.
Is this different than what they use? Did they always go through Polk County or was it another county?
Let me see if he details that in here.
See what it did.
I think it was another county as well. I think that. Harney County? Maybe.
I'll see anybody else.
Okay. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Okay, are we ready for a motion?
I move to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Revenue and the intergovernmental agreement with Polk County related to the ORMAP GIS tax lot conversion project as presented.
I will second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For the next one, viewing is online.
Okay. 6.2, discuss triennial financial review, final report for Gilliam County Public Health. Daleen?
She stepped away from us.
Well, I'll start and she can chime in. So if you look down through the report, you know, where it's marked off that, yes, we were compliant. The red, it looks daunting, but the red is meant for me on this. If I can get down to the.
When you say meant for you,
Yes,
you mean?
so I'm the reviewer in
Oh,
this instance.
You are, okay.
Yes, so, just like, for instance, the first one, they've got non-applicable, so it
Yeah,
doesn't really, it doesn't.
Right.
Most of the things that they came up with was the accounting between, South Gilliam Health and the county.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were meeting with, Brooke either tomorrow or Friday. And we're gonna talk about how she's gonna have to, when Daleen sends us those expense and revenue reports, then somehow Brooke is gonna have to put that into our accounting system. So before it was just a straight, the money came in and then it went out to South Gilliam Health District. And they want, on the county's end, they want to show what it was spent on, you know, was it personnel, supply materials and stuff like that. So,
Breakdown.
yeah. So that when they can compare the county's ledger to the,
Where it was supposed to
the
go.
health districts.
Yeah.
Which I have sat through all the things with Brooke and, Brooke, Gilliam, and they have all the, by month, they have all their expenditures, and then if they use, the staff that they used, and that's all accounted for in, on Dalene's end. But it's lumped into that report.
Yeah.
That goes to the state.
We need to, we're gonna have to change the way we budget then in the future.
I think
A little
it'll,
more detail.
we'll know more after we talk to Brooke. How she's actually gonna do that. One thing that they did talk to us about, and we, the annual, when I go through and, you know, what's it called? Sorry.
The recipient monitoring.
Yes, there we go. We have to come up with a policy for it, which I think we decided that if we were low risk, we would do it annually. Medium risk, we would do it, semi-annually, and then if we were high risk, then we would do it quarterly. Is that right, Daleen? Is that what we decided?
Yeah, that sounds right to me. We just have to come up with the process of what we want it to look like.
Yeah.
And we have the process and the policy in place. They just want us to expand on it a little bit further in how often we're going to be monitoring, depending on what, you know, classification we fit into, whether being low, medium, or high risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it probably isn't applicable because Wheeler County doesn't subcontract on their public health. I was just wondering if they might be a resource of how their county public health bookkeeping is set up as an
No.
example. No?
Oh, with the bookkeeping, it's Wheeler County, the court is they do all of it. So they're the LPHA.
Right.
And yeah, so it's done differently. Like all the financials are done with the fiscal person for the court, where ours is with the county, but then we're spending it here on our end with the district, with the South Gilliam Health District. So it is different. There are a couple other counties that that are set up similar to what Gilliam County is. We kind of mirrored off of Grant County and Community Counseling Solutions. So we could reach out there, but I just want to highlight that the findings that Tony found were not big issues. They are smaller details that they just want us to clarify between, the county ledger and the South Gilliam Health District ledger to make it easier to read, basically, when somebody else is coming in and looking through it all. So she said overall things are going really, really well, and they are very proud of like how well we've done in the initial setup and how closely we all work together too. So, the findings are minimal, I guess, and not huge red flags.
Yeah, some of the things they picked at was like whether or not you went to a conference and if there was a meal provided, you had to show the agenda to, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was, little picky things.
To see if the meal was provided at the conference and whether you had.
A meal reimbursement at the same time or something, I guess, is what they.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So-
that's thorough.
We learned that we have to keep all the agendas. Or go back in and see if they're still available online.
Yeah, well, the
all
ones
agendas.
from this point on, I can keep them. We're through the past years, so it's basically from here on out, I know to make sure that, I can find the agenda, keep the agenda so that I can show you all, basically, it's not necessarily going to be the state, it's going to be more towards county court and proving that, we're paying for a meal when it's necessary and not paying for a meal when it's provided through the conference.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I'm trying to think of how to say it. She was very meticulous, Tony was.
mm-hmm.
So, but trying to go back and look at, it was 23, 24? Is that what she was looking at?
So she looked at 23 to 24. She had looked at 22 to 23 that fiscal year when we were doing the WIC review last year. So that's why she focused just on that 1 year mark instead of all three, because she had already been through some of it.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to remember back. And also one of the other problems is we were converting from jabs to Cassell, and that created issues of its own. And they kind of dinged us on the commingling of the funds, which I think we've talked about already.
Yeah,
When-
I feel like that one's been corrected already, is within the county's bookkeeping is making sure instead of lumping all the PE 42 sub elements together, they all have to be separated out individually. So 42-03, 42-04, 11, and 12, those all have to be separate line items.
Yeah. And they weren't, when it first started, they were just getting lumped into the one fund.
Yeah.
So it was
It's
hard
all-
hard for her to look at stuff and figure out what exactly.
Yeah. All a big learning process, I think, within our first 3 years, again, highlighting that overall, we really are doing a very good job without a lot of direction and feedback from the state and how those looked originally. And we did ask for feedback, and it was like, oh no, this looks great. And then all of a sudden you go into the review and it was, you know, all these different findings. So it, you know, it really is a learning process. They felt pretty good about everything. Nothing was major. So
Well, it also sounded like there was discrepancies between what, like she would say, and then what some of the higher ups would say on how you had to handle stuff. So she had to go back a lot of times to her own supervisor to get clarification.
yeah, that's all. A lot of that we're going to see probably in this next review that we do, because they are asking us counties that have subrecipients, and there's 4 or 5 of us, to change the way we are doing our expenditure and revenue reports. And Gilliam County has been the guinea pig for the process, and I've had lots of conversations with Tony and how, you know, their asks and the changes that they're wanting to see how that affects us on our end. And she likes the fact that I am tied to both sides very closely, where the other counties necessarily are not. And so I've been providing them feedback on how it is working and ways that it is not working. So there's still a lot of back and forth between us and the state in what their ask of the changes are, and you know how that's going to work, and if it does work. I keep telling them no, it's not working, and they don't really like that answer.
Well, it sounds like there's other, you know, public health entities that have a problem with giving of funds and then taking them back, and not back and forth makes it difficult.
Yes, it does. Tony and I had a pretty in-depth conversation about that the last time we met, and, you know, just discussing how much easier it would be if each program element, because they all do things a little bit differently, each one does. And if all of them could wait until the end of the fiscal year to do the reconciliation, that would make it far easier on everybody else to keep track of, you know, funds coming in and going out, and there would be a whole lot less of back and forth and confusion. So it sounds like they are talking on their end about getting together with all the different programs and pushing for that. So maybe we'll see a change there.
Well, and some of the programs you can explain to them, just like WIC, it sounds to me like you get a certain amount of funds and they're usually gone early. But we still have to run the WIC program, so that's where the county contribution comes in.
Yeah, the county contribution support comes in very heavily for us within the WIC program and our immunization program as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, are there any other counties that are like this structure? Did you call it that you're a subrecipient? I know you said Grant County, but that's Community Counseling Solutions, but that utilizes a health district or another entity like a health district. Do you know?
Yes. Yeah, Baker County is another one, and I have been talking with their administrator and kind of how they are structuring things and what that looks like too.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Overall, she gave us a lot of compliments, so.
And actually, now that I say Baker County, that's not correct. It's Union County, not Baker.
Union, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Good, thank you.
I just comment, great job of getting through this triennial review. It's been going on since June. right?
Yes,
We
yeah.
started it in June. So
Yeah. Yep.
It's
And
taken a
I'm
lot of
happy to
time.
report, so this is just the fiscal piece that y'all are looking at right now. I got an email on Monday stating that it is all complete. They sent all the documents over to me just to double check and, you know, if I had questions or edits that I recommended, and that will be sent on to you all here at any time. It might be by the end of this week, it might be the beginning of next week, but that report will show the full results and have each different program element outlined, not just the fiscal, so that you can review what, you know, what they found and what the suggestions were. But the only place that we had findings and all the program elements reviewed was within the fiscal piece and the environmental health piece. And that's who we contract with Umatilla County. And so they're asking Umatilla County to do things a little bit differently, but everything else was nice and clean.
Good job. Thank you so much, Daleen.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's good to have it over.
It is,
Yes.
especially because we'll start another WIC review here this summer. So we get done with one and we go right into the next.
There you go. Yes.
Now you're experienced.
Seasoned.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank
Thank you
you
so
very
much.
much. Sorry I couldn't be there in person today.
No, that's all right. Okay. We are on to item 6.3, consider approval of road weed department office managers transition to regular part-time. I need to open by publicly announcing an actual conflict of interest. The nature of the conflict is that this is regarding my daughter's employment, and I will not be participating in any discussion or vote in this matter, and I'm going to leave and let you guys do that.
And I would also suggest, I think that maybe, since Grant oversees the road and weed, that he signs off on that, job description as well.
Dewey.
Dewey signs it as the supervisor, but down below,
Instead
The judge.
of county judge.
yeah, I think we just need to, you can cross that out and just sign commissioner,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or I could fix it where Brooklyn can fix it and get a.
Oh, and then have Grant can sign
Yeah,
it.
let's-
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm coming to the county court to ask to move to part-time and step away from the sheriff's office. After having a baby, I realized I want to spend more time with him. I am not in the capacity to respond to emergencies as emergency coordinator or stepping in as emergency manager, which that was the plan, to step in, once Chris Fitzsimmons retired. I'd like to move to 24 hours a week, 3 8-hour days, probably 6:30 to 3:30, I think is, or 3:30. Before, the road and weed office manager was, on the same role as deputy clerk, deputy assessor, and the transportation coordinator. I've worked for Gilliam County for 4 years, coming up in April, and I'd like to move to step D, which is, just a little less than I currently make, but it would, fit me into 4 years on the salary schedule under the represented. That's what I'm asking.
and is that okay with the, union, with you going backwards on your pay?
Yeah, I talked to Kelly Smith and she said that that would be, to fit into where, same schedule, just hourly.
On to that step.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I can certainly understand wanting to be with your baby. I can see, so my understanding is you'll be moving to the actual road department.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that will probably be handier for, Dewey and Doug.
Yes. Yes, I'll be right there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with, some of the things are coming down the road and, she's right there. I think it's gonna be a good fit to help both of them, those departments. I spoke to Dewey about it. He was very excited about it. I know, some of our contractual stuff that we do. I want to make sure we're up to date on that and, like even some of our hauler contracts, I know Jeremy was still working on, to make sure but I think there's be a big need for a little bit of administrative help there to both sides
And this gives the sheriff's office adequate time to hire somebody and train somebody because that's a pretty big role to step into also.
yeah, if she's not there, it's gonna hard for her
Yeah,
to act on that, so.
I don't have a problem with it, so, do you wanna make the motion?
Sure. All righty, I move to approve the transition for Joel Yeager from regular full-time to regular part-time as presented.
I'll second it. Any more discussion?
So,
Thank
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Okay,
thanks, Joel.
I hear you're getting some of the fair board.
Yeah, I was gonna go see, then I don't have to buy
Yeah.
any of it, so we can move that.
Right. So the next step for the next meeting will be, the sheriff's office is, way forward with the emergency management, training. So, very important position to fill and have proper training, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's Chris's retiring into this year. Someone,
I think so. I think that's what the plan is.
or no?
You could go ahead.
Oh, I was looking at you.
I'm smart enough to know that.
All right, that is all of the regular business, our announcements and next meeting. January 28th, we have a joint housing solutions meeting, the Gilliam County Courthouse at 5 o'clock. In that meeting, we will have, we've invited, interested taxing districts, the port, CDC, the state housing, and community services, office, the cities, Mid-Columbia Economic Development has been invited, and the county planner,
Yes.
so that we can talk about our plan forward for housing solutions and get all of our heads together to decide how we're gonna move forward. We're gonna also talk about the existing projects that we have and those that, are proposed and completed and in the works. I think we have 3 of those in the county. February 4th is our regular county court meeting. Prior to our February 4th meeting, we're going to have our economic development work session with the budget committee as we had previously, was it November? So that's going to
Starting
be,
at 8.
I believe it's at 8 o'clock. We're gonna confirm that. I think our last one was at 8. So this is, we were directed to gather some more information. And so Brooklyn has reached out to those entities for additional information.
So are we any closer with McKen?
McKed, the last thing I heard was, Jessica Meta, who's the executive director, reached out to the federal government and asked where they are with the process. And we're in a holding pattern waiting for them to, we don't have anything else to do. We're just waiting for that approval. We've submitted everything we need to approve, to submit to approve. So
Probably gotten
Mhm.
sidelined with the government
It did.
shutdown too.
it did, yeah. So the last thing I saw was an email asking her, where we were with them after asking once already, so,
Yeah,
all right.
I sat through one of their meetings that they had a while back, so.
Mhm. Okay. Commissioner Wilkins?
At the regular meeting, Norcor on the 15th, couple of things. I don't know if you guys recall the police building, we were trying to do a roof repair for the old original roof on that, that Isuzu is leasing from the Norcor. And, I believe that week they had almost 2 inches in 24 hours in the Dallasport area. I don't think anything leaked, but long story short, we awarded a bid because they said they were gonna honor that, and then they came back and said, well, we need another 85,000. So we said, well, let's just rebid it. So,
85,000.
yeah. So anyway, they're working on that. We've got to do something before. Yeah, I mean, it's $400,000 to $600,000 to do the whole roof, brand new or something like that. But
Wow.
anyway, the board, everybody's consensus was they couldn't really. The business manager Nicole, she asked for a more breakdown on why, couldn't really give a good answer, and we're just uncomfortable. So that looks like that's going back to square one to rebid out. The other thing, I'm not sure if you recall, I talked about Judge Sherman County Oscus and having that audit assessment presented to the courts individually. I don't know, is Nicole?
Yeah, we've coordinated that all. It's going to happen during correspondence at the meeting on the 4th. Basically Sherman County and Norco will zoom into our meeting
Oh, okay.
and they'll do a presentation and.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about that at the meeting, and the only thing we didn't really talk about, well, we forgot about, was questioning out the time. So it might take a little more time to factor in some of the questions that everybody has.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's, yeah, so. And
About
then you,
half an hour, 45 minutes or something.
and you guys did get the assessment, right?
Yes.
Yes, oh, okay.
Did you, Commissioner Watkins? Get the assessment?
I think so.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it did come out in the packet from them.
Nicole, I think, sent it.
Yeah.
To all of us. So
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. Cedar Springs, the bypass, yeah. I just, it's just unbelievably to me that could be such an issue. I'm really concerned with that project. I don't know if there's phone a friend in Salem.
Help from like.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, or, I don't know if we could, cause this could be a big problem. And I'm just trying to think of a way we can go forward with a little faster schedule,
Yeah.
meeting everything and getting everything done, but it just seems like the time frame to get that done, there's gotta be some way that we can kind of, hey, this is a big impacting
Yes.
to our county.
Right.
I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out there,
It's a thought.
and we'll see what happens, and yeah, I'm gonna try to meet with Paul and Alan and
Yeah.
go over things,
Right.
but yeah, those are,
Maybe we need to give Greg Smith a little nudge.
Yes.
well, yeah, I think,
I did give Andy the contact we have for the guy that worked with Gilliam County and Chris for the risk map for the flooding. And so I don't know if he reached out to him. I don't know if he can say to it, but he does have the contact we've been talking to. I don't know if it's Serene or something.
it's just unbelievable to me that it's not like we're building a freeway.
Yeah. I'd say contact Representative Smith and Senator Nash.
Okay.
I have both their numbers. We can have Anya get those to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got right now.
Okay.
So I sat through the Northwest Energy Renewable Advisory Group meeting they had, and, I don't know if you sat through that. I met the guy down there at that Korea meeting, Adam.
Oh, Adam, yes.
Adam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Page.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and they had, James Williams from Lake County was on it.
Right.
Korea's director gave a spill on it. So, but it was just like Korea down there in, at AOC, a lot of the discussion was our 70-year-old,
Infrastructure.
yeah, transmission line, so.
Right.
But, I think they meet quarterly, maybe this advisory group, so. I thought I would sit in on those, and then, of course, I went and, sat in on a meeting with, EMS, the EMTs on the south end. And they're getting prepared for that budget meeting, trying to figure out what they can do going forward
Yeah.
for our aging EMT population.
We have a young lady that's have 25 years in the week. We have that service. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some that I'm 33 years. And I know Paul Bates is more than that. He's probably like 37, 38 years, so,
It's older than all of us.
yeah, he's been around a while.
Yeah.
So he'll be a big loss when he finally retires. So other than that, just hanging out, looking at the fog.
Okay, so we've had our first, Wolf Committee meeting.
Oh, yeah, I
And-
forgot about that.
Yeah. And so that is in place and moving forward. Do you want to give any kind of a report on that? Just
Think
briefly?
Anya got, you said John Anderson is gonna be the business person.
Yeah, so Andrew Jameson was appointed at the meeting, and
Yeah.
then John Anderson will have to be appointed at the next meeting.
Yeah.
He's volunteered as the two business representatives.
And I think that they had some questions, so Anya was looking into some research like that, and then we're gonna meet again on February 3rd. So,
Okay, good. I sent an email to the group with answers from ODA. She answered all my questions that the group had, and I sent revised bylaws like they requested, and some preventative measures grants examples, so.
yeah, and I think at the meeting, we decided to go ahead and apply for 20,000, thinking they would cut us in half. And then if there is anybody that, because according to, was it Joe Campbell said that Morrow County at first didn't really use the money for the preventative,
Yeah.
but now that it's been around 10 years, they've had their program in place.
Yeah.
They've used it more and more, so.
Good. Good, thank you for Anya and Commissioner Watkins on the work on that. I had a meeting with, Brookfield regarding the Saddleview Wind Farm. We all, I think, received a notice, their notice of intent,
Yeah.
announcement. There's some things Gilliam County has to do as the special advisory group for that, approval, and I've reached out for those, for that information. Looks like they're looking at a 70 turbine project for an 88 megawatt project with battery storage as well. We have a new website. There's been some growing pains, few tech growing pains. For anybody who is having trouble getting on, you need to clear your cache to start. However, Microsoft Chrome appears to be working well with the program. Microsoft Edge is not. Is it Microsoft Chrome or just Chrome? Google Chrome, sorry. Google Chrome is working and Microsoft Edge is not working so well with the program, so use Chrome. Yesterday, there was an announcement from the governor's office that she has formed a data center advisory committee. I don't know if you've seen anything about that. I'm watching that closely. I thought it was interesting that one of the the goals is to, assist or protect rural communities. I hope that there's rural representation on this committee. It didn't look like there was any rural city representation, so hopefully they have a voice and that the
Depends on
counties
what they
also have a voice.
consider rural.
Umatilla County Commissioner Dan Norton was the only other one besides some University of Portland, another university, and some Salem. Yeah, so watching that one, I'm gonna have some questions about that. As far as representation, we had a kickoff meeting for the EV charging project, which will be behind the library in Condon. We're looking at one pedestal with 2 level 3 chargers on that pedestal, so 2 plugins and 2 level 2 chargers. And tomorrow they're coming out for a site visit for that project. So it looks like it's moving forward. We've had several project managers through the state because they're managing the project, and with the state Department of Transportation funding and changes that were going on there, I think we counted, was it 5 or 6 different people who've handled this project and then moved on. So we do have a good momentum right now, and I think it's going to be moving forward. They're going to pair us with Sherman County. They also have a project as well, so we're kind of working together. Yesterday in the kickoff meeting, Michelle Colby, who works for McCann, was on the line, so I could kind of see how McCann can help us with the type of questions that were being asked and her involvement in just this piece down the road. Let's see. I think in 2026, tell me what you think of this idea. Having county court meeting sometime this calendar year, both at the Rock Creek Schoolhouse and at Lone Rock. Think about that one. What we could do with the video is they now have Starlink Mobile. And so we could connect through Starlink Mobile or an alternate location. I just think it might be kind of good for us to go to a different location in the county.
I wouldn't mind seeing what they're doing with the Rock Creek Schoolhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
Where would they have the one in Lone
They
Rock
have a
at?
community center.
Awesome.
Yeah. I attended a roundtable meeting
Can I
organized.
wait till the weather?
Yeah.
turns better?
We can. I attended a roundtable meeting organized by Kaylin Lane and assisted by Brooklyn Griffith. This is not a Gilliam County organized group. It's just people getting together countywide and community-wide to talk about ideas and positive conversations. And I've attended 2. They've had 2 so far, one in Condon and one in Arlington, and they're both wonderful, really good meetings, just brainstorming ideas with a little bit of directed conversation. One of the ideas that I heard was the potential idea of a walking trail around all of the perimeter of Arlington School District property, which encompasses 26 acres, if you can believe that. They have 26 acres. And so I thought that was an idea, a good idea. The special legislative session begins February 2nd, and it lasts for 35 days. We had our first Eastern Oregon caucus call where they discussed legislative concepts. Some of the things that were discussed were wildfire funding, wolf concerns, statewide funding concerns, transportation funding, and housing solutions. So we'll see how that goes. And Eastern Oregon caucus calls take place they start next Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. If one of the other of us want to attend, we should communicate through Anya to make sure we don't have a quorum situation, but they're great calls. Legislators are on the call as well as county representatives. I've learned a lot from these. At the next meeting, we potentially could have a resolution to proceed with House Bill 2089. This is the tax foreclosure, I guess, the remedy to the Tyler case, which, I talked about a little bit the last time we were here in Arlington. That's how we can legally, sell properties that have been deeded to Gilliam County through foreclosure. So there's been a few questions along the way, but I've learned a lot and have some legal outreach, and also AOC's been helpful on this one, Association of Oregon Counties. Let's see, I think that's about it.
I did have one quick thing I forgot. On the 13th in Condon, I did attend the Saddle View informational meeting.
Okay,
And gosh, I thought I had a card, but I lost it. Sarah, the Department of Energy, she's one of she was leading the communication meeting, and
okay,
you can go to the Department of Energy. I don't know if you guys have looked at that, but it shows everything where they're at, their notice of intent, the informational meeting, and then I think there's still 2 months for written testimony,
mhm,
whatever, but I don't know. I think it would be good if the court would I think it wouldn't hurt to submit a letter, excuse me,
right,
of support for
right,
the project,
Mhm.
but I know that Sarah said they've got a lot of the stuff already done.
good.
She thinks this thing is gonna go fairly fast.
Okay, in addition to all of the items that we need to cover in the memo and letter we received regarding the notice of intent, we can send a letter of support if we're comfortable with it.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that
Yeah.
we're not jumping the gun but yeah, I think I believe they have I saw another meeting where they can have public testimony also,
Mhm,
but.
Yeah.
But
right,
yeah, we had 2 people online and Dewey and I,
Mhm.
that was it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mhm.
So have we had any news about that other wind project moving forward? That was the one that wanted to go down the.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, with Avangrid. Right,
No, Cordelia was
Yeah,
Odyssey, was it Odyssey?
yeah.
Mhm. We haven't heard anything about that one,
no,
not through the county anyway.
no,
Maybe potentially planning, but I haven't.
I
heard.
haven't heard anything since.
Because I think my understanding was they were gonna piggyback on to the Brookfield project. When they first said that, I was thinking, why are they piggybacking on to the one on that side? But then it made sense when Brookfield said they were gonna do one on the other side.
Mhm.
Yeah, Brookfield's tying in right to BPA substation that BPA is building.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Okay, I think that is everything. Is there anything else? For the good of the order, nothing? Okay. All right, this meeting is adjourned.